1580. So, hit us up today at smb@kbla1580.com and let us help you connect with our loyal listeners. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. Under the bud.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
When you realize who you are, attachments won't interfere with your relating with other beings. There will be a great freedom. And then the love is really then free to really express itself without expectations, which are such a pain. And that narrowness. Because when you carry that sort of, if you're loving someone out of desperateness, it's such a horrible state for both of you. So when you can come from your freedom, isn't it? And you know that if someone leaves you, you're not going to die, isn't it? Then you really can enjoy. You will not compromise your truth for anyone.
Brother Muji, always on fire. Love his content. The voice of reason, man. We're on fire. We got a brother on the line. I want to get to him ASAP. But before I do, please understand this. In the psychological realm, attachment theory, as developed by John Bowlby and Mary Ainsworth, posits that our early attachment experiences shape our relational patterns in adulthood. However, what if we could renounce these early attachments, styles, and the models that they create? Would our adult relationships then mirror a more liberated, non-attached form of love? This is where the teachings of Iyanla Van Zandt and Ross Rosenberg become very relevant, as they explore the healing of childhood wounds and the cultivation of self-love. The idea here is that by healing our past and letting go of the attachment styles and the old patterns, we can approach relationships from a space of wholeness rather than neediness. Wherever there is neediness, scarcity, there is supply. Not only narcissists need supply, but so does the codependent. Do you see? Attachment, in its conventional sense, often involves a deep entanglement of emotions, expectations, and dependency. Yet, as the teachings of the Buddha and Eckhart Tolle suggest, detachment is not the answer either, for it can lead to coldness and disconnection. The middle path, as described in Buddhist philosophy, is non-attachment, an approach that allows us to fully be present in relationships without the burden of expectations or the fear of loss or an impending pain, anxiety. The middle path enables us to love deeply while remaining grounded in our own spiritual and emotional autonomy. Listen to this quote by Yasmin Mogahid. Try not to confuse attachment with love. Attachment is about fear and dependency and has more to do with love of self than love of another. Feed my wound. I'm here to get what I signed up for. There's a whole damn culture of these vultures running around. Feed me. Give me. My giving to you is contingent upon you being what I need. That's a damn vulture, but nobody wants to call it out. Okay. Love without attachment is the purest love because it isn't about what others can give you because you're empty. It's about what you can give others because you're already full. Everybody here is looking at their heart pantry as half empty. Damn scavengers. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get a little passionate. Lewis, get back in here, brother. Let me get your final thought. Talk to me, man. What you going
Real
through?
quickly, man, it's like going up to a Picasso painting and trying to add to it, bro. You just did it all, man, as far as the knowledge. But like I said, but I'm a single brother. I tell the females, I said, you can leash me, but you can't own me.
Ooh.
And they say, well, you trying to be all sure. No. I mean, that you have nothing that you could add. We can have this thing together, but it don't mean you don't make me better and you don't make me worse. I make me. And I said, the best thing you can do for me is be the best version of yourself. They look at me like, what you talking about? I said, no, if you continue to be the best you and I'll be the best me, then this relationship could work. But as far as, no, I'm not attached, bro. And I'll be thinking, you go back to, like you said, the way you was raised, your attachment, detachment style. Once you learn to accept the fact that I don't need no one else, the so-called complete me, make me happy, be unlonely and all this stuff that you've been told, I'm cool. I'll be like, no, I really am, whether you with me or not. If you're with me, cool. If you're not, cool. How could you do that? I say, well, shouldn't everybody be able to be who they want to be?
Brother,
and that's why I said I can't add to what you said, bro.
But I feel like you're going
I'm
through it, though. I feel like you're going through it right now. Are you going through it? What happened, brother?
Yeah.
Tell me what happened, man. You got the floor, man. This is your safe space, man. Just share with me, brother. What have you gone through? Because I probably went through it too.
Bro, it's like, yeah, I've been married twice, whatever. Nice relationship, nice females, all that. But I don't feel like I need to be in a relationship anymore at all. That don't mean I don't like females, dog. I want to, nothing like that or have that. But I mean, I don't need nobody to say, okay, I'm your man, you're my lady, and we only, I can't. And I'm cool if that don't happen because it's hard to find somebody still on that same level. They be like, okay, what kind of game is this? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, brother, you cool. If you don't want to be in a relationship, I'm good.
Well, let me ask you, have you ever been in a relationship without any attachments to past wounds, past hurts? Because wherever there's an attachment, there will be an expectation. Wherever there's an expectation, there's a desire for supply. So what are you asking them for that you felt like you didn't get when you were a child?
Wow, once again, like I said, I answer that, dog, because I felt like I understand what I didn't get and that you can't go back and get what you didn't get.
But have you gone into your adult relationships?
I'm cool with that.
But have you been in your adult relationships, Lewis, and tried to extrapolate some of that which you didn't get from the woman that was standing in front of you?
Nah.
Come on, Lewis.
Bruh,
Come walk with me, brother. Don't run from the truth this evening. Walk with me. We've all done it.
I mean, like I said, I've been divorced twice, countless numbers of relationships. So you finally come to the reality that this is where and who you need to be. Not to say, not with bitterness, that this is who I am. And, bruh, I can honestly tell you I've never been so happy and free. And I say that without lying. I don't need to sit up here, you in LA, whatever, and tell you this to make myself feel good or whatever.
Right.
No, I'm good, bro. whether it happens or not. And that's coming to that self-actualization that this is who I am.
I ain't mad at you,
And
brother.
so be it.
Nah, I ain't mad at you, but I'm going to tell you. I don't know how old you are, but I'm going to tell you right now, this self-knowledge, this self-awareness lesson, it never ends. So you saying right now, I'm good by myself until the universe have you go down to the local Whole Foods or local Best Buy, and you be in there for a totally different reason and run into your next lesson. The universe ain't gonna let you off the hook, so you might as well prep yourself for this now.
But Zoe, that's what I'm talking about. If it happens like that, cool, because the universe let it happen, not me. I'm not going out looking for it.
You said I ain't gonna look for it, but the universe got to catch me slipping.
Yeah, that baddie walked through and her conversation's vibing, and she knows that she's black and her hair is real. We could talk, but ain't too many of them walking around, though.
Right. No, I hear you, brother. I hear you. Well, listen, man, you already know, man. It ain't nothing but love, man. Omaha in the building. Omaha, Nebraska, home of Bud Crawford. You know we on Bud's team over here. Appreciate you, good brother. Thank you for sharing your information.
And don't forget Dr. Russell Harrison, baby.
Come on, Dr. Russell Harrison, my good friend, and his nephew, Alan. Hey, man, we work with those brothers. They good brothers, man, and I appreciate you for calling in and being so transparent. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me, 1-800-920-1580. Attachment. That's what we're talking about. Can you love without it? Can you love without the past? Has the past prevented you from loving honestly, earnestly, openly? Do you need reassurances and guarantees and contracts? Right? You know how people do. You know, people think they're really discerning. Right? But fear can't be used as a Geiger counter because fear only recognizes itself. I'm sorry. I don't know if y'all listening. Listen. Fear only recognizes itself. Fear needs a point of origin. This happened to me then. I now am trying to avoid this from happening again. So fear recognizes itself. It's looking for itself. It's like confirmation bias. Right? It's when fear is running the show, self-fulfilling prophecy. I know people don't want to hear it. The concept of loving without attachment is also echoed in the teachings of Jesus Christ, who advocated for a love that is selfless and unconditional. This is not a love that clings or seeks to possess, but one that is given freely without the need of reciprocation. Like people think reciprocity. Let me tell you something. Reciprocity, in order for it not to be transactional, it has to be given freely without the desire to be repaid back. That's when somebody give you something, just y'all call in and tell me. When somebody give you something of value, time, energy, anything, money, somebody gives you something, wisdom, whatever, of value, and they don't want anything in return. What does that make you feel like? How does that make you feel? I mean, they give you something of value, show you how to do something, show you how to figure out something. They're there for you during a difficult time, and they don't want anything back. They're not seeking to be repaid. What does that gift make you feel like upon its reception? Right? Many people think reciprocity is key. But what did I say in the last show? I said you have to get to a space where you are neutral in your spirit. In other words, you're not judging yourself. You're not condemning yourself. You're not negatively speaking to yourself. You're not putting yourself down. You're not repressing old feelings, old wounds, old hurts. You're not suppressing any of these things. You're open. You're clear. You have a clear, loving canvas. Right? That's how you love. right? It makes me feel like giving more. No, but I'm just trying to point this out. Many of us are carrying this burden into the relationship, and it translates into, what can you do for me? And what can you do for me is a transactional relationship. That's just what it is. Your wounds set that up. Your wounds didn't get when they were kids, and now they must get, or when they were kid wounds. I love that. When you were younger, your wounds were created and developed by the attachment style. You carry the attachment style into adulthood. You were disappointed, hurt, betrayed, upset, frustrated, the whole 9 yards. And so now there's this callus over your heart, and everything gets filtered through that. Right? Such a love that Jesus Christ spoke of, is devoid of emotion, but is still rooted in a deeper spiritual understanding of connection and oneness, often reflected in the concept of the Hindu term namaste. The recognition of the divine in you recognizes the divine in me. Jesus said, "Is it not written in your law that I have said ye are gods? And if the word was written by God, how then can the word be broken?" Do you see? We don't want to love with an empty heart, because the wounds contained therein make up a small piece of our identity. Heavy stuff. When we come forward, we're going to Houston, Texas. You already know what it is. Let's get these callers going. 1-800-920-1580. We got a lot to talk about.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. Tabitha Smiley's new book, The Covenant with Black America, 20 years later, is now on sale everywhere. This classic text shot to #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list almost 2 decades ago. If you have the original book, you will surely want to get this 20th anniversary edition with powerful new contributions from today's leading voices. This 20th anniversary edition presents a compelling blend of historical insights and contemporary urgency in this critical and unprecedented election year. Get your copy of The Covenant with Black America 20 years later today. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
If you say you care about the community, you have to also care about the climate. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Slept the night away. It happened. Now we can't turn back the hands of time. Oh no, no. Yes, we've stolen this moment. We forgot to face one simple fact.
What is love? An age-old question that countless poets, artists, writers, musicians, and even scientists have tried to answer for centuries. But the simple truth is, love means something different for everyone. And yet, we all just know it when we feel it, right? Well, maybe not, because unlike every other emotion that comes and goes, we tend to put more meaning into love than we probably should. The most common example of this is when we let that fleeting feeling of attraction or fondness for someone blind us from all the red flags in our relationship, saying otherwise. According to therapist and dating coach Kelsey Wonderland, healthy love requires 3 things: love, the emotion itself, compatibility, and attachment. So while you can feel love for someone even without the rest of these things, this doesn't necessarily mean that it's healthy love. It could simply be attachment. And we can get attached to anyone.
Okay, so she's saying everything I said. There is no unhealthy love. Let's get that out the way. Real love is healthy. Anything that is unhealthy, abuse, right? Supply, psychological, emotional wounds, all of this stuff is not love. It is attachment. Remember the Buddha, right? Attachment leads to suffering. The highest level, unconditional love, is a different thing. It's an entirely different thing. Now, what we'll do is, to make it make sense to folk, you know, you'll hear people say what the clip just said. Unhealthy love. Right? Or, and then she cleaned it up as Hustle would say. She cleaned it up and said, it might not be love, it might be attachment. Attachment is the source of suffering. So all I'm saying to you is, have you looked at your attachment style and how it could possibly make you suffer? And have you wondered, can I love without this attachment style? Attila from Houston, Texas is on the line. We definitely need to get her perspective. Attila, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Boy, what's up?
What's happening?
Come on now. Come on now.
What's happening?
You didn't have to slap us over the head like that. The vacant heart.
Yes, we need a vacant heart. We need it. You know we.
You know what this really made me think of? You right. It made me think. So, I kind of started going down a rabbit hole of kind of the common things that we're hearing people say now about peace and safety, and it brought me to the word first. I always get this word wrong. Thessalonians, child. Yeah, that one. Chapter 5, verse 3 now. It says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Now, why am I bringing that up? Because I think our constant hunt for supply, whether that's peace and safety or, be his peace, as people be saying, whatever. I think that we are creating our own hell, in a sense, through doing that, because we are putting ourselves in a situation where our comfort, external and internal, is based upon someone else's actions. And so, real quick, I just kind of wanted to cover when you say, can you love with a vacant heart? I would say, can you love without the how, what, and why? So when I think about the how, that's that process of how is this going to work? The little things that we try to figure out. And then there's like the what, that's the outcome. Like, what do I get out of this? That's the one-sidedness. But then I think the other part is, can we love without reason? If you wake up one day and you're just in a rough patch with this person, can you find a reason to love them, or do you constantly feel like you have to kind of be on a cloud nine type of situation? So that's kind of what that made me think of.
Nah, it's interesting though. No, that's even bigger though. There's an even bigger angle too. Who is asking the what, when, where, and how of it? Is it you, or is it your unrequited wounds asking the question?
The wounds, of course. Of course. I think, like you said, wounds are, I think of wounds as like, and LS brought up a really good point about greediness and like your partner. If you're willing to give, if you're willing to be someone who is benevolent in that way, like what's wrong with giving to a greedy person? But I would say if your giving is authentic and is immeasurable, meaning that you don't run out, there is no empty cup, there is no spoon, then are they really greedy?
Are they really greedy? Well, if your source comes from outside of you, and that's where you go to be recharged, refreshed, shown love, shown appreciation, validation, then to me that's a problem. You are the wellspring of your own happiness. It should never be your partner. It should always be you.
Absolutely. And so even when you get into Ross Rosenberg, we brought that up in the chat, and that's the whole SLDD, self-love deficient, right? Like the whole point behind that, the reason why he doesn't really like the codependency term, he states that a lot in his videos, is because at the end of the day, this is more about what's going on externally and the way in which you're kind of contextualizing things based on what's happening around you, how that person is responding to you, or rather how they're responding to your wounds.
To
me, that's
stay
why
right
I say,
there. Don't leave. Stay right there. How they're responding to your wounds is where Attila left off. When we come forward, more from the Houston, Texas topic slapper.
Light shines across your sleeping face. A new day brings reality, and we must go our
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Marylanders appear to be happy with the job Black Governor Wes Moore is doing. A new Gonzalez research poll puts Moore's approval rating at 64%, 6 points higher than a similar poll in February. About 24% disapprove of the governor's job performance and 12% are unsure. The poll found 82% of Democrats, 35% of Republicans, and 52% of independent voters give high marks to Moore. The Washington Department of Commerce has awarded $29 million in grants to support housing initiatives, and a local organization, Take Up the Cause, will receive a portion of those funds. The group works to make housing more affordable in Spokane. Take Up the Cause is part of the Black Home Ownership Spokane cohort, which is already helping 13 people with down payment assistance and affordable home ownership programs. With an $809,000 grant, the organization plans to launch a new debt paydown program for Black homeowners, aiming to overcome high debt-to-income ratios that often block access to home ownership. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Hey DQ fans, mark your calendars. Thursday, July 25th is Miracle Treat Day 2024. $1 or more of every Blizzard treat sold at participating DQ locations benefits your local children's hospital. Remember, July 25th, only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
The moment we've all been waiting for has finally arrived. On Tuesday, September 10th at 6 p.m. Pacific Time, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump will square off in their first ever presidential debate. KBLA Talk 1580 and the Empowerment Congress are hosting a viewing party, and we're inviting you to join us for an evening of civic engagement, great food, and good vibes. Our studio space is limited, but if you would like to join us, just go to our website at KBLA1580.com and register for your chance to watch this historic presidential debate with us. Years from now, we're all likely to remember exactly where we were when this pivotal moment in American politics unfolded. So, register for your chance to join us by going to KBLA1580.com right now. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees.
Looks like Bobby needs a ride again.
Grab the keys. Let's take our auntie to the swap meet. Grab the keys.
Whether you're giving rides or hauling gear, do it all in a Chevy SUV. Head to your local Chevy dealer, where well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Malibu, Colorado, Blazer, Equinox, Trailblazer, and Traverse limited models. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 15.8% plus finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 7/1/24.
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelenos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007, they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA CAN believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the TIA.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. Pro Football Hall of Famer and urban peace pioneer Jim Brown believed in just that. So he founded the Amera I Can Foundation for Social Change in 1988, focusing on at-risk and high-risk youth in underserved schools and juvenile detention facilities, as well as adult incarceration and reentry initiatives. The core of the Amera I Can program is its 15-chapter life skills curriculum. Mastery of these skills allows individuals to meet their academic potential, conform their behavior to acceptable societal standards, and improve the quality of their lives by equipping them with what they need to confidently and successfully contribute to society. Today, the foundation is led by its president, Monique Brown, who has been actively involved in the organization for more than 25 years. The Amera I Can Foundation continues its work in memory of its founder, actor, philanthropist, and NFL legend Jim Brown. To get involved or make a donation, please visit AmeriICanCommunity.partners. That's AmeriICanCommunity.partners. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Before we move forward and we talk about what it means to emotionally detach, let's talk about what it means to detach. Before we talk about what it means to detach, let's talk about what it means to attach. So imagine that you have a truck and you have a hitch on the back of your truck, and you have this little car that you're trailering to another destination. Imagine getting to the destination and you get out of your car, and now you need to detach the car from the hitch from your truck. But first, you attach the car to the hitch so you could take the car wherever you needed to go. Thinking about this idea of detachment, I think it helps for us to understand that we attached to something first. In the emotional realm, it's not unlike the physical realm. What happens in one space happens in all space. So if I am emotionally attaching and I want to experience less suffering in the world, and I want to feel more mental clarity, I want to feel emotional freedom, I want to feel self-confident. I don't want to be attached to all of these ideas that I need people to like me, or I need to be validated by this person, or this person doesn't have a right to dislike me, or that person doesn't treat me well. These are all egoic attachments. If I don't want to have those attachments, then I need to detach from these emotions. But first, I have to understand, at least it helps me to understand, and it helped me master this, is by first recognizing that I was attaching to an emotion first. So before I can detach from an emotion, I have to recognize that I have attached to an emotion. And this is really difficult. And the reason it's difficult, I think, is because most people are unaware that they're unaware. Most people do not know that their mind is both subconscious and conscious at the same time. And that in order to make a conscious choice, we are stepping out of the dualistic mind and we're tapping into a higher sense of consciousness, or a higher level of consciousness. And so the average human mind, the average person walking on planet Earth, is unaware that they're unaware. The average person thinks because they walk into a fast food restaurant and they make the decision to order large fries versus medium fries, that they are conscious. No. The average person thinks because they are a nurse, they graduate with a master's degree, and they have this incredibly successful career, that they're conscious. Not necessarily. The brain is designed to live in default mode. The brain has what's known as the default mode network. And this is the area of our brain that is really operating our lives at the level of the subconscious through patterns and programs. So patterns and programs of what? Language patterns, thought patterns, speech patterns, behavioral patterns, and feeling patterns. We are all walking around operating through these subconscious patterns and programs, and we don't know it. Most of the thoughts that we think on an average day are thoughts that we thought yesterday and the day before and the week before. And what I think is really interesting is that most of what we believe about the world was created before we were even 7 years old. Because all children up until...
Oh, Lord! Did she bring it home? We're walking patterns. Gosh, we're walking patterns. And if there was any damn dysfunction at the crib, that's in you. That's in you. And what you got from home, you take to your adult relationships, and it's damn near virtually impossible to not make a demand on your partner to give you something that you didn't get from home. It's almost impossible to not say, well, it's on you to give me what mama didn't give me, to give me what dad didn't give me. It's on you now. Because if you want it and you felt like you deserved it, it's almost impossible. Because that's your pattern, your program, your language pattern, your thought pattern, your feeling pattern, your behavioral pattern. That's your pattern. That's what you modeled. And like she said, just like Bill Lipton said, you have everything you're going to have in your consciousness by age 7. That doesn't mean you're not going to learn anything else, but we're talking about as it pertains to you, who you are. Interesting. Atala from Houston, Texas. We want to get that final thought. I want you to give me that answer that I asked you about before we came forward.
Yeah. Is it wrong that I low-key kind of forgot?
You wrote it in the chat.
You asked me something. Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry, my bad. So I was saying in the chat that basically that our wounds construct a safe hell for our spiritual stagnation. Basically, we fall into complacency with these wounds. And the reason why it's a safe hell is because it's comfortable, but you're going nowhere. That is going to create a hellish environment for someone who actually does want to ascend. You're going to constantly be wondering why you haven't progressed past a certain point, especially in relationship to another person. All this talk about, who should be married and all of that. Have we ever stopped to consider that maybe the wounds that are present within that relationship just haven't progressed past a certain point? So marriage might not be on the table for that. Sorry, go ahead.
How do you keep track of your wound's progress in terms of its healing?
So I would say it's kind of like anything, right? Like if I were to, stub my toe, right? I'm not going to check it every 5 seconds. Like, is it heal? Is it heal? Is it heal? But what happens? There's markers, right? Maybe it starts to itch. So in a relationship, if I'm healing, the same things that maybe gave me the ick don't give me the ick anymore. Maybe instead of looking at my partner like, what did you do? I'm starting to look at it like, well, let me stop and see how I actually behaved in the situation. Active listening. I think there's so many skills and things that we could start to develop that we don't even always take notice of because we are stuck in that safe hell.
Wow. Heavy things. Atala from Houston, Texas. You already know what you did. You brought your city in the building. Check it out. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me. 1-800-920-1580. Atala always cooks with the rarest grease. Listen, my brother Heru Ali from Battle Creek, Michigan, when we come forward, you already know he's going to take us on a ride. So buckle up.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well-trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up.
Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone, and should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month. If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Linking social justice and climate justice all year long. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
Watch out! You got me! The galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
It was Valentine's Day, February the 14th. My baby took me to a special place, said he had a surprise for me. He told me to close my eyes so that I could not see. And when I opened them up, he was on one knee, reaching for my hand. He proposed to me. He proposed with the diamond ring. I started crying.
Love and attachment have nothing to do with each other. Hate and attachment more connected. Because if it falls this way, it becomes love. If it falls that way, it becomes hate. They're just the flip side of the coin. So you can't hate somebody that you have nothing to do with. You're in love with somebody and it turns negative for some reason. That's when real hate, isn't it? So, is hate opposite to love? In a way, it is, but fundamentally it is not. In a basic way, it is not. On the surface, it is. I would say attachment is more against love than hate. If you want to use an analogy, love is like a flower. So if you keep flowers in your house, you have to watch it 10 times a day. It's a nuisance, actually, but it's life. But attachment is not like that. It is like a plastic flower. It just serves all purposes, multi-purpose, it's guaranteed, it's convenient, it's cheaper. In every way it makes sense. But it's not life. That's the big difference.
Wow. Sadhguru's birthday is today. Shout out to Sadhguru, man. Keep guruing. Happy birthday, Sadhguru. Hey, I appreciate everybody for tapping in. This is one of those shows, man. It makes you think, man. Like, it makes you kind of rethink everything you thought was true. And a lot of people are uncomfortable doing that, and that's why I love having these types of discussions. We got Heru Ali. He said something quite profound in the chat. My brother is from Battle Creek, Michigan. Heru, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Peace and love, Zoe. Peace and love, all.
Honors,
Listen, you had
honors.
Honors, absolutely honors. You had mentioned earlier that what we repress, our traumas, they require to be fed. And you have no choice. You have to feed them until you recognize that trauma is like a parasite. Have you ever heard of pinworms?
Yes, I have.
Well, here's what pinworms do.
Here we go.
They usually affect children, daycare age. And the only way that you discover that your baby girl, your baby boy is infected with pinworms is at bedtime. In the midnight hour, the witching hour, when it's time to go to sleep. They complain. They itch their bottom. And it's very disruptive. And they don't know why. And you don't even know why. It's like, Daddy, it itch, it hurt. Well, here's the experience with pinworms. Only in the night, in complete darkness, with a flashlight, will you see what is exiting out of the anus of the infected person. Why? The parasite remember, is trauma. The parasite knows that when everybody goes to sleep, when it's supposed to be quiet time, this is the time for us to come out and lay eggs. Where do we lay eggs at? Around the anus. So when you put a flashlight in the dark, you'll see the pinworms going in and out of the anus. They're parasitic symbiotic. What did my statement say earlier? I said, how can you love with an empty heart when you still have heartworms? Parasitic cleanse, maybe? Maybe that's over somebody's head.
No,
Attila.
I wanted to get up and run out the studio when you said, what is happening? But I get the metaphor. I see where you, whoa.
Oh, they live. They live for sure. Yeah, they live for sure. Earlier with the break, with your segment, and also with Attila, she brought it. They were talking about social engineering, right? Y'all talk about epigenetics. Because guess what? By 7, listen, we're born inherently intelligent. We are miseducated to be ignorant.
Keep going. I hear you.
I'm just saying. So listen, until you can recognize that you have something inside of your body, trauma, parasites, trauma. You're being a parasitologist. What is a parasitologist? You send your blood to a parasitologist so they can look for the fecal matter in your blood to determine what parasites you have in there in order for them to properly recommend how to get rid of them. I appreciate you being a spiritual clinician, a spiritual parasitologist.
What in the world? Help me, brother. This correlations is deep. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay, what are your questions? Because I just wanted to pose the question, how can you even conceive to love from an empty heart when you got heartworm? Because the heart and the lungs are the two most important organs in the body. And folks were like, well, wait a minute. What about everything else? Wait a minute. You can have a heartbeat without breathing, but you can't breathe without a heartbeat. That's anatomy and physiology 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. You can have a heartbeat for only 10 minutes, but you can't breathe 1 second without a heartbeat. I don't know if I made myself clear.
Listen, it don't matter. This is your home. You get to call in and let it rip, man. This is your home. You've been here since day one. So you get to call in and do what you got to do. Hey, that's my brother, Heru Ali. We appreciate you, man.
Peace and love to the family of the nation.
Whoo! Let me tell you something. There's nobody in radio whose fans and listeners and family and friends are more passionate than mine. They on here. They listening. They calling in from all over the country. This is how they're being made to feel. These conversations are important. We've got to keep having them. When was the last time somebody sat you down and said, you know what, you got too much clutter in your heart? Right? Too much clutter, things you've packed away. Have you ever tried to approach a relationship with a vacant heart? Not an indifferent heart, not an absentee heart, but a heart that is present but is not attached. Krishnamurti. The mind must empty itself of all the past to become highly sensitive. And it cannot be sensitive if there is the burden of the past. Listen, we started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. The voice of reason back in the building. You already know tomorrow I'll be back with another slapper. Let's get it.
Everything you want, I'll be. Good love down to the last drop, and I'm not gonna stop. That's all I'll do. Every day and every hour, babe. Don't you let no one know that my love is yours. That's all I wanna do. Every day and every hour,
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. President Biden used